barbell walking lunges. 3 weeks out from a show, lunges, she's been lunging for a while now. I know I incorporate lunges a couple times a week when I'm 6 weeks out. That's what Tracy's been doing. So again, we want to keep the shape because that is what lunges do. They keep the shape, the tie-ins between the quads, the hamstring, the glute tie-ins. So we're going to start with that. She already trained quads the other day. This is, yes, going to work your quads. It's going to work the whole leg, but we're going to pre-exhaust that quad while we're hitting that hamstring in your lunges. And then we're going to end up with some presses and extensions on hamstring. So she's then using that hamstring. And again, it's a pre-exhaustion technique that we're using, but it's tough. So she's going to lunge barbell lunges. She's going to drop that bar when she gets to this point here. She's then going to do step-ups. And again, step-ups are brutal. But if done correctly, you're going to force a lot of predominantly blood into your hamstring. I see this a lot in the gym where people come down and they lose, and this is another pet peeve of mine. As good as this exercise is, people really don't get a chance to, I guess, utilize it in the way that it was meant to be. One thing, a pointer that I can tell you got to keep your heel, weight on your heel, and you're going to come up, never lock the knee. And when you come down, toe barely touches the floor. So literally, it's almost like a one-legged press. I'm barely touching the floor. And then in turn, I'm not losing any resistance in my hamstring to my glute tie-in. And that is how you're going to get a really pretty insertion here. So you don't want to be out here. Anytime you step too far back, you lose that concentration or that tension to that muscle. So staying right up underneath it, keeping your body erect straight up, right through the heel, barely touch, and up. And of course, exhale on the way out. So that's what she's going to be doing today. That's what I teach all my clients. And they always end up with nice butts and hamstrings. So let's start out this way. Let's do 30s, walking lunges down and back, Tracy. Okay. When you get to here, we're going to go 10 to 15 a leg. So let's start down there.
Start down here or down there?
Yep, right down there. You start right here, all the way down and back. So with this, she's going to do about 15 to 20 lunges all the way down and all the way back. And again, you can see how she does this exercise. She's been doing this with me for a while. Her form is perfect. She's straight up and down. Her knee goes all the way down, barely touches. You don't want us to say want your patella, your knee to touch, but you want to have that range of motion. And again, she's straight up and down. Her hands are wide on the bar, keeping her chest and upright. Because anything in, she's going to fall forward and not going to stay straight up and down. And again, your alignment on her upper body is going to deem where that tension is on her glute. If she's too far forward, all the weight goes onto the knees and actually your waist. It doesn't stay in the glute. So this is really perfect. And her toes are straight. She's not toeing out or toeing in. She's perfectly following a line. Okay, one more. I'll grab that bar. Perfect. All right, now she's not without a rest. Gonna do her step ups. Right through the heel, make sure your foot's all the way on that bench. Keep it in tight. Bend that knee lower. Good. So you're gonna wanna drop low, lower, Tracy, and up. Use those arms equally. Yep. And she's gonna exhale on the way up because she's gonna be out of breath after those lunges. Make sure.
That's it?
Switch. Keep that foot in close, Tracy, and pull. And again, by her pulling that knee up, she's working all those connectors in the quad too in the insertion. And you may ask, does she need weight on this? Not after what she just did. She doesn't need any weight. So she's good. Bodybuilders, yeah, you could add some 25, 30-pound weights. Figure girl, no, she doesn't necessarily need that weight. So again, same exercise. She's just not using weight on it. So you can do the same thing. And I did it in a combination for her, so.
My name is Traci Pate, and I got started wanting to do figure about 8 years ago. I went to my first show in Tallahassee, Florida, and I was just amazed about how the girls looked and their bodies, and I was super excited back then. But you know, what I've learned by doing this is you have to be mentally ready. It is not something that you can just say, I'm going to do it today. And if you got so many other things going on in your life and so many interferences and negative, things, you just can't even begin to do it. So I became friends with Debbie about 4 years ago. I met her at the gym, and we spoke, and I told her what I wanted to do in my dreams, and she said, when you get ready, let me know. So about 2 years ago, I sent her a text, and I'm like, I'm ready, let's go, let's do this.
I think I said, are you serious?
Yeah, you're like, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Are you serious? And I'm like, yes, let's do it. So I've been with her ever since, and I've learned so much from her, and I'm still learning, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so excited about my future because she pushes me and she makes me feel like I can do anything. And it's basically, you have to believe in yourself. You have to say, I can do this.
All right. Okay, I got it. Well, now she's getting pretty tired, but she's gonna force it through because she's focused. She wants to win that Southern States. So she's gonna give it everything she has. As soon as you start to lose balance, another thing, do not release that quad. That quad right now is supporting that back end. So if you lose balance, more than likely you released your quad. Keep your quad tight, you won't lose balance. It'll be tough and it'll burn and it'll hurt, but can't have any gains without any pain. So you gotta go right through it. And this is where it takes all your mental focus, especially at this point before a show for her. That was good, nice job. All right. We're gonna head into hamstring press. What we did with Tracy is we just pre-exhausted, and she's probably pretty tired right now. She's now gonna go into a leg press. Feet are gonna be tight together, and she's pretty much going to do, and we're probably gonna do a drop set here, so I gotta layer these weights. You grab a quarter, Tracy. A quarter from over there. That one. Thanks. We're gonna do a drop set here, and she's gonna work her hamstrings on this. But we're gonna move that seat back real quick. Make sure your seat's all the way back on this, based on how your leg press is set up. She's gonna put her feet up high and tight together. Her range of motions, I'll show you where that's gonna go. Again, she's gonna push through her heels. So we're gonna do the first set tight. She isn't gonna go too low, but right there. And again, gonna try to keep it right in the back end through the heel. And this is where you gotta fire your pace up quick. And up quick. And 7, quick. 8, 9. So almost lift those toes off that pad. Go right to 20. Good, rack it. Good, we're gonna do another set and it's gonna be a drop set. Huh?
Quads are burning. Right here.
Yeah. We're gonna do dumbbell stiffs. And what I wanna do with her, another technique I like to use, not all the time, but today is one I'm gonna use this, is she's going to place her toes here. So again, you get that slight elevation. And we're just gonna simply, she's gonna go down. I like dumbbells because you can actually allow them to move and actually hit a little bit different tendons, especially in bodybuilding, you wanna maybe change those angles. So sometimes for myself, I do them out, I let them move in, or I do them straight. With Tracy, I'm just gonna have her go straight down. So feet, you can see about 5 inches apart. You don't want anything wider than that as well. Don't want to go as low, about 1 inch past the knee. Not so low, Tracy, right there. Keep your knees locked. So everything bends from the waist, and her knees are bent and locked. Protect her hamstring, so she's slightly bent. Pulling from the waist. And her upper body, you can see, is completely tight. Back is arched, flat. You never want to have it rounded. As you can see, she isn't doing that, just perfect form. All right, Tracy, you can drop them. Once you start your leg training, usually the first exercise or so you have to stretch. If she gets to this point, I don't want her to stretch too much, but I'm gonna have her just kind of go down and do this, just because right in this area here and put pressure on it. You know, once you're too warmed up and you stretch, you can actually pull a muscle, so a tendon or ligament. All right, so just foot up and on the edge and push forward, and that should feel really good. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of hold so she can get that stretch right in her glute. And as everybody can see, Tracy's in very good shape, but her form is impeccable. So that's the one thing I wanna, if anything today when you watch this is really illustrate for you is her form. She's got perfect form and concentration. And that's the key. All right, one more set, Trace. Let's do 20. 20 more on this. We're gonna go to extensions after this. And you can tell she's getting that stretch right there and up. That's what you want. And one thing about stiffs, whether it's barbell or dumbbells, that's really what gives you that fullness and that shape in your hamstring. So if you're not doing those, I suggest you start either doing dumbbell, stiff-legged, or barbell. Just lion leg curl alone isn't going to give that to you that you need if you need a fuller hamstring. So keep that in mind. All right. Good job. All right, let's go to lion leg curl. What Tracy's gonna do for you today is she's gonna do 3 sets. We're gonna have a neutral position with her toes flexed. Her second set's gonna be toes flexed and in, and then her third set's gonna be out and flexed. What that's gonna do is just kind of work more the roundness. So you're getting more of a 3-dimensional look. And again, I'm big on angles. If anybody knows, the way I instruct my athletes is all on angles and those tiny little changes. So to me, that makes more of a complete 3-dimensional physique. I'll lighten the weight here for you. All right, let's go.
Straight first, right?
Yep, flex and straight. I'll move that. Good. And last one. Perfect. All right, let's go again. We'll do 2 more sets. So let's do toes in, flexed. So you can make sure you see how the toe position is. So now we're gonna hit a different spot on your hamstring here, okay? 4. Keep that on your heels, right there. 5. We're gonna go 20 again. So with this, she's really controlled. 7, as you can see, some of you, no matter where your weight's at, you don't want this pad necessarily coming off. See how that just came off? You don't want that. Keep it nice and tight. Keep that constant connection from the pad to your Achilles. Some people like to place the pad a little higher on their calf. Play with that because it does concentrate differently as far as where you're going to get the tension on your hamstring. So if in fact you only have, let's say one piece of equipment in your gym, you're not like myself who has 3 or 4 of them at the gym I train at, which I'm pretty lucky to have that. But if in fact you only have one piece, then you might want to change the placement from the Achilles up to a little higher. And honestly, that will change the angle you hit that hamstring at with that machine that you're using. So that's another little tip for y'all. All right, this last toe angle, which is probably going to be her strongest, because toeing in is always a little bit not as strong of a tendon area, but her toeing out, she's going to be a lot stronger on that end. So you can increase the weight at that point. So we're going to do one more toes out, Tracy. Six, 7. We're going to go to 15, Tracy. 8. Keep going. So it's going to be her last set. 5. 2, last one. All right, good. So we just finished up our workout with Tracy here in Jupiter, Florida. And we've come outside to this beautiful weather. And I just want to kind of walk you through some final things And yeah, that's thunderous, beautiful weather. But we need rain. Anyway, beside that, you know, in training athletes, there's a lot of things you look for, whether it's bodybuilders, now the new women's physique division. We also have the figure competitors. Tracy being a figure competitor definitely is going to be a force to be reckoned with in 3 weeks at the Southern States, because she's an amazing structure and physique, and she'll tell you in a little bit as far as her story and where she came from. But to kind of give you an idea of what I look for when I am training athletes and how to build out their structure, I'm going to kind of use Tracy as an example. So just step back for me for a second. She's in sneakers, so she's not in her heels, but if you can kind of just take a look in her front relaxed pose, you can kind of see, we talked about it when we were inside, how her delts billow out. Her lats are nice. They come out to a nice shape. Her waist is nice and tiny, and her obliques are small enough where they're not overpowering. Goes down to her hips, into her quads. And again, you don't want to be too shredded in the quads. You just want to have a nice billowing effect to your quads. And we keep working on Tracy's legs and keep bettering her physique as she goes along. But obviously, she's in a great lines and proportions for figure. You can see her on her side. This year especially, I've been working with Tracy 2 years, but this year she's thickened a lot from front to back. So again, increasing her shape, again, keeping concentration to the tiny waist, nice round booty, hamstrings, calves. And then if you see the back of her, and she poses beautifully too. Her definitely the width now you can see coming forward in the back. And we have a little thickness here, but not too much. Just enough to show not too much muscularity, but nice size and round. Again, a three-dimensional look that I talked about inside. Again, her small waist, booty's round, everything's nice and tight all the way down. And then she can turn around. Nice, thank you. So that kind of gives you an idea as far as when I eyeball a physique, what I'm looking for, and when I put together a program as far as what we're going to train, what we're going to make bigger, what we're going to increase, what we're going to minimize. That's kind of what you have to do with physiques and anybody who's training for particularly anything, whether it's bodybuilding or figure or even bikini, whatever it is. I want to thank all of you watching Muscular Development today, tuning in and watching our video and Tracy's workout and spending some time with us and showing you kind of how I push my athletes and work with them. And I do want to thank Ironville Clothing, who was my new sponsor this year. I know I kind of made mention of that a few weeks ago when everyone came to view the tour of my home. I want to thank Ironville sponsor for being my sponsor. And I will be at their booth this Olympia, where I'll be competing September 15th, that weekend in Las Vegas. So I'm 13 weeks out, real excited. I'm going to come back with a pretty strong package this year. And I can rest assure you, I'll be a force to be reckoned with, because I do believe. And I'm doing some things at this very moment to do that. So I hope I see all of you there. I hope you get a chance to check out Tracy. And if you have any questions, you can reach me at debilaszewski.com, my website, and my email's there as well. So I want to thank my own nutritionist, George Farah, because I always got to give thanks to him, because again, he's part of my team with what I'm obtaining to achieve. So thanks a lot, MD, and see ya hopefully at the Olympia.
Thank you.
Bye.